post-apocalyptic movie that stars Viggo Mortensen, Cody Smith-McPhee, and a small appearance from Charlize Theron, and it came out in 2009. It is based off of a novel written by Cormac McCarthy that came out in 2006. No, I haven't read it, damn it. I understand that my opinions on this movie might be slanted a little bit because I have not read the book, and I've heard so many people come up to me talking about this movie and go, hey man, you gotta read the book, or I liked it even though it's not as good as the book, or oh, the book is way better, man, I didn't like this movie. And I'm just kind of like, I understand, I feel your pain. That's not my pain because I just saw the movie, so I don't know what I'm talking about apparently in this video. So just discard everything about this movie that I'm about to say, because I haven't read the book, apparently. So like I said, this movie stars Viggo Mortensen and Cody Smith-McPhee, and it's a post-apocalyptic movie that takes place in a very shitty version of our Earth. What I mean to say is that there is something really terrible that has happened in the future. I don't know what it is. The movie never really specifies what big global extinction level event has happened to push the world to the brink of, you know, insanity and chaos and death and all that good stuff. Whatever happens, it's the apocalypse. And so there's a father played by Viggo Mortensen and his son played by Cody Smith-McPhee who have to try to find a way to survive in this world. And there's a whole bunch of climate that they have to deal with. Like the world is a lot colder and darker than it was before. And obviously people are savages, people are dicks, people are pieces of shit. So there's cannibals and there's gangs that'll rape and kill them if they catch them. Like, it's just a really bad version of the world. It's a post-apocalyptic movie that is about the bonding between a father and son, but it's also a survival movie, but it's also kind of a coming-of-age movie for the son. Like I said, did not read the book. I am very curious to read it, though, because having seen this movie, I wonder, could it possibly get even worse? I don't mean worse in terms of quality. Like, I really do enjoy this movie, and I'm about to explain why. What I mean by worse is this movie is insanely depressing. Oh my God, man. How? No one told me this movie was going to be so bleak, so down. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. There's like nothing good in this movie. There's like nothing to cheer for. There's nothing to be happy about. I'm just watching this movie and I'm just kind of like, can anything happen? Like maybe a butterfly survives, or hey, maybe the old man farts and it's funny and we can get a good laugh out of it. I don't know. I need there to be some kind of sunshine, some ray of light, some kind of hope in this movie. Absolutely is none. And I think a lot of that is the point. I think that's the point of the story. That's the point of the tone. People, it may sound like I'm bitching about it. I'm not. I'm actually praising the movie for it. It's just, ooh. It's not enough sometimes to say that the cinematography for a movie is really good, or it's gorgeous, it looks beautiful, it's shot well, blah, blah, blah. Like, you've heard me say that a bunch of times on this channel. I think the real strong point of cinematography, and one of the aspects that not everybody talks about, is how great cinematography can really aid the visual storytelling of a movie. Great cinematography visually can really speak to you. It can bring something out of you, and that's what the visuals in this movie do. They don't just set the mood and the atmosphere, they're telling a story about life in this world, life for this father and his son, and the kind of things they have to do to survive. This is a very dark, muted color palette for this movie. There's a lot of muted colors and gray. You see the desolate remains, the ruins of this place that used to be America, this place that we take for granted. Like, they just haunt your eyes. Like, the imagery for this movie is just incredibly powerful. No other way to describe it. You just have to see the movie to understand what I'm talking about. I love Viggo. I mean, he's the one true king, right? He's the king of Gondor. You love Viggo. Viggo's a great actor. There's so much that he has to say in this movie with his facial expressions, because he doesn't actually say a lot of stuff to this boy. When he does talk to his son, when he does tell him stuff, it's to say something profound, or it's to answer a question that the boy has about life or whatever. And it's these small meditative moments of character between the father and the son. That's when the movie really hits its feet. That's when it really hits the ground running. That's when it really shines. Cody Smith-McPhee is also terrific in this movie too. It might be the best performance I've ever seen from him. And I've seen him in a lot of shit, and I know he's a pretty decent actor. Captured the emotion perfectly of a young boy caught in a world that has gone to shit, who doesn't really know what to do, but is trying to survive with his father and trying to make the best of a bad situation. Haunting is a word that you've heard me use in terms of the cinematography. Well, I gotta use it for the score too. This is a haunting, emotionally driven musical score that really kind of seeps into your thoughts and into your head while you're listening to it. And it just makes you think about all the sad, terrible things that could happen in life. And again, that sounds like it's a bad thing, like I'm bagging on the movie for being depressing or sad or whatever. No, it's fine. Like, that's the story, that's the tone that this movie wanted to tell. I have no problem with it. I'm just saying, like, Jesus Christ. Talk about a movie that just makes you want to pop some antidepressants after you're done. I mean, good Lord. The way that they build this world, the way that they flesh it out, the way that they tell you, or they show you instead of telling you what this world is about, just makes you want to project yourself into this world. Be like, how long would I survive in this world? I don't know. For damn sure, I don't really want to find out. Finding something to fight for, even when it doesn't seem like there's any hope, there's any light at the end of the tunnel. Keeping that hope alive in the face of total darkness and evil in the world, like being the good guy even when the world is telling you to be the bad guy. That's the thing that I got out of this movie, and I actually really appreciate that message. I would say that the movie definitely is a slow burn, and again, I love slow burns if they're executed right. This one fell off a little bit in terms of its execution. Not to say that the movie's boring or anything, but there definitely are a few parts in the movie that drag a little bit. There are some scenes that feel a little bit repetitive for my liking. The bigger issue with the movie is just there are a couple of decisions that certain characters make in this movie, narratively speaking, that I don't know that the movie did enough to really justify or back up these decisions. Like, I get why they happened. I understand why they happened the way that they did, but I just feel like the movie could have provided a little bit more justification. Despite the movie being as dark and as bleak as it is, they definitely could have gone further in some spots. Maybe in the book it's exactly the way it's depicted here. I'm just going off what I saw in the movie. In the end, The Road is one of the better post-apocalyptic movies that you could hope to watch for in a not post-apocalyptic time that we live in right now. The Road was a pretty sweet post-apocalyptic survival movie. I'm gonna leave this one in the Silver Age for Man of Steel. Guys, those are my thoughts on The Road, so tell me, have you seen it? What did you think about it? If you have read the book, without spoilers, how do you think this movie compares to the book? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.